On the edge of Izyum, in a forest, the grim reality of war, nestled between the trees, graves of those who died during the Russian occupation of the city. Each has a story, at the moment unknown. Ukraine says some of the bodies exhumed show signs of torture.
We are here at a place where you can see 3 graves. In the first one, there's a rope on the neck, and the hands are tied. On some bodies, we see traces of torture.
The burial site was discovered after the Russians left a few days ago. Police say they are mostly civilians, but bodies of 17 Ukrainian soldiers were pulled out of a mass grave on the edge of the burial site. Investigators and forensic experts are already at work. There are hundreds of graves here in the forest. Some of them are marked and appear to even have the date of death, but there are many others that are just numbered. Sergei came to identify some of them. 46 of his neighbors died in the airstrike that targeted his building. He pulled their bodies out of the rubble.
People had to pay for the burial, and if you didn't have money, then they were buried with a number. Sometimes they put signs like "woman with a red coat." Those who were burying were maybe local fixers, Russians, and separatists from Donetsk and Luhansk.
Russia invaded Izyum in the early days of the war. It was used as a logistical hub to supply its forces in the Donbass. It's now a city in ruins, desolate. There's no power, water, or gas. Ukrainian soldiers are back on the streets, but Tatiana wonders how she's going to face the approaching winter. She says some people froze to death alone in their homes at the beginning of the war. Sitting on the bench nearby, Olga says most of the deaths happened then.
I can say it's a mass grave. People buried their dead anywhere they could in their gardens and squares. The Russian mayor then sent a team to exhume the bodies from around the city and took them near the cemetery.
She's hoping to find her husband, who also died in an airstrike. Natalia also tells me she doesn't know where her father is buried. At 80, he died of fear and cold. Perhaps they will be found at the burial site. Investigators have a monumental task ahead, but Ukraine is confident that some of the stories of those buried here will provide more evidence of war crimes.